Gary, as this parade continues to roll by, you know, you still have to continue, if you're a Giant fan, to pinch yourself and wonder, you know, how did this happen? How did they get on this roll? We talk about Eli Manning and his 7 fourth-quarter comebacks this year. It started in Week 4 against the Cardinals, and now we bring in our Kim Jones, who is actually at the parade. Kim, welcome to the program. We appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Chris and Gary. How are you?
We're good. Could barely hear you, but we still got you. Just give us a feel. You came in on the media bus. What was it like at the Timex Center, getting on the bus and getting there to the parade route?
Well, I mean, festive would be one way to put it. I was with the tight ends on their float, Jake Ballard and Travis Beckham, both dealing with torn ACLs, and they're standing and waving, and they said for a little bit it took the pain away. So their Pasco was throwing footballs back to the crowd. Jake Ballard threw a couple back. There was toilet paper thrown at him. They threw it back. Tight end coach Michael Pope's just shaking his head. He's a veteran of everything in the NFL, and he just smiled and said, "I've never seen anything like this."
So, Kim, tell me, how did you wind up on a float?
Well, with WFAN, they hooked me up. So I was supposed to be on a different float, but our bus got lost from the pack. Our bus had to back out across the West Side Highway to get back on track. I've never seen anything like that. So Carl Banks and I were in the front 2 seats. We were holding on. We were laughing, and we made it. And they put us with the tight ends, but we were happy to be there.
Hey, Kim, I asked Gary this at the outset of our program here, and I want to get your thoughts as well. Did you ever think in your wildest dreams that when this team was 7-7, 6-6, after starting out 6-2, that we'd be doing this right now?
No, and I don't think anyone, unless you put shoulder pads on Sundays or coach the guys in the shoulder pads, I don't think anyone thought it or could have imagined it.
And Kim, give us a feel. What's the noise like down there? They were expecting over 1 million people, so what's it like? Give us a little decibel information.
The Canyon of Heroes, it was deafening. It was deafening. They were hanging out the windows. It's a gorgeous day here, which is fortunate. The skies literally are completely blue. It is lovely, and the fans were as loud as you could imagine. You had to shout, hear each other, standing next to each other on the floats. That's how loud it was.
Kim, you're a veteran of some Yankee parades. How does this one compare?
Well, I'm a veteran of just the one, though. So, and on that one, I wasn't on a float, so I didn't have that perspective. I did walk the route that day, and I remember being amazed. And if I had to guess, this crowd seems bigger and louder to me, but that may just be because it's what I just experienced, and maybe back a couple years ago in 2009, it was just as loud and just as big.
The weather is a little better today. Kimberly Jones, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a couple minutes. We appreciate it.
Have fun, guys. Thank you.
You too. Thanks, Kim.